Happy Monday, everybody. Now at noon, the THV-11 Summer Cereal Drive is underway. We are going to catch up with Tom in just a few minutes. Plus, a violent weekend in central Arkansas. We've got the latest on several of the investigations underway in Little Rock. You probably received one of the 4 billion robocalls that went out last month. Bad news. Scammers are now getting around federal regulations that were supposed to crack down on these annoying calls. And back on the beat with a new heartbeat. North Little Rock's Tommy Norman is sharing some good news with his community. But first, we've got a rainy week ahead of us. At least it feels like that. It's like a make up your mind Monday. I needed sunglasses coming up here, Scott Covert, and now it was stormy. What do we got coming up today?
We have an active week of weather. We saw those showers and storms roll through this morning. Now, nothing was ever severe, but certainly some heavy downpours, a lot of lightning and thunder, and at times some gusty winds. Most of that has now pushed off towards the east. You see on your live radar picture, there is still a few scattered showers on the backside of that system. One heavy downpour just moving through North Little Rock, now getting ready to bring a little bit of rain into places like Cabot and Lone Oak for your lunch hour. Some more scattered activity towards the north near Greers Ferry, Heber Springs, Batesville, and Mountain View, seeing some light rain. Temperatures as a result of the rain coming to an end are quickly warming up. We're at 73 in the capital city. Pine Bluff reporting 80. It's 81 right now in Mena. Your forecast for today takes us to about 87 degrees. A few more isolated showers can't be ruled out. I think we'll actually see a few breaks in the clouds, which gives way to a little bit of sunshine. Over the next couple of days, the heat and the humidity is going to continue rising with multiple chances of rain this week. I'll tell you, the weekend, though, actually shaping up to be quite nice. And speaking of quite nice, have you ever heard of Tom Brandon? He's a nice fella. We're checking in live with him out at the Kroger in North Little Rock.
Good afternoon, Rolly. Yeah, it's kind of one of those days. We started with a downpour and you need the glasses, the sunglasses. It's a little glary out here in North Little Rock. Indian Hills Kroger location. You still have a few minutes to come out and drop off a box of cereal. We've got Heidi, the Highland Dairy cow, helping us out. We're going to talk about the food pantry that's going to benefit from the cereal collected today. We'll also give you a collection total at the end of the program and tell you where we're going to be tomorrow. Today, tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday, and then we'll have another week where we'll take a break, and then we'll come back and finish things out. But the cereal drive is underway. We'd love for you to come out and join us today and bring a box of cereal. If you miss us, they'll have big pallets on the inside. You can drop off cereal here at the Kroger, Indian Hills, North Little Rock. We'll talk to the pantry coming up at 12:15, guys. Stay tuned. Rolly, back into you and Scott.
Tom, thank you very much. It's been another violent weekend in central Arkansas where police in Little Rock are investigating several deadly incidents. The first one, a shooting that is now, by the LRPD's count, the city's 36th homicide. Last night, officers responded to a shooting at the corner of 15th and Hanger. One man found dead. We're now waiting to learn his identity and any suspect information from investigators. Meanwhile, we've learned more about a shooting that occurred Saturday night. Little Rock police say they responded to shots being fired around 10 p.m. at the Exxon station on South University. Right now, one victim is in critical condition. We're working to learn more about that investigation, and we'll get you updates as soon as police make them available. We're also learning more about this weekend's deadly hit and run. According to Little Rock police, a white vehicle hit a woman as she walked along Canis Road early Saturday morning. EMTs managed to get her to the hospital, but she died a short time later. The accident happened just west of the Poplar Grove senior community, and police are asking people in that area with information or video surveillance to give them a call. Well, nationally, Congress returns from a Memorial Day recess, and new gun safety legislation is one of the first agenda items that they'll take up this week. Serena Marshall has more details from the White House.
A fearful scene in Philadelphia Saturday as gunshots rang out. It was one of 11 mass shootings just this weekend where 4 or more people were shot. The violence across the country killed at least 15 and injured more than 60. Maureen Long says she broke down sobbing after the shooting outside her Philadelphia home killed 3 people.
I'm so outraged. I'm so angry. After Buffalo, Uvalde, here, right here, we have to do something.
A new CBS News poll shows nearly a third of Americans believe mass shootings are something we have to accept as part of a free society. Gun rights advocates say the way to keep people, including school children, safe is to provide more arms.
It only makes sense to harden the schools and provide people within the schools, the good people that work there that are willing to be trained, to be armed.
President Biden has called on Congress to act, including an assault weapons ban, but he also acknowledges that's unlikely to happen in today's gridlocked Congress.
The president is not being very helpful. I think at the end of the day, this is going to come down to whether we can reach a consensus in the United States Senate. There are intensive discussions underway. It includes people who have not been engaged on this issue in the past.
Pennsylvania Republican Pat Toomey is part of a bipartisan group of senators who spent their Memorial Day recess working to see if they can craft a compromise on narrow gun control laws.
We are talking about a meaningful change in our gun laws, a major investment in mental health, perhaps some money for school security that would make a difference.
Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says he wants to vote on gun legislation this week. Serena Marshall, CBS News, the White House.
And it takes 60 votes to get most legislation passed in the Senate. If a bipartisan group can't accomplish that, then the Democrats believe they've got the votes to pass a similar bill in the House. Let's turn now to the ongoing investigation into the January 6th attack. The House Select Committee is promising to show Americans, quote, never before seen evidence of the most violent assault on the Capitol in more than 200 years. It starts with a primetime hearing Thursday night about the effort by former President Donald Trump's supporters to stop President Joe Biden from succeeding him. Scott McFarland has more on this effort from Capitol Hill.
An assault unlike any in American history has led to an investigation unlike any other. Now the findings will be presented in prime time.
The public hasn't seen it woven together, how one thing led to another, how one line of effort to overturn the election led to another.
A special committee of 7 Democrats and 2 Republicans have held a series of high-profile interviews and depositions with key members of former President Trump's inner circle, members of his family, even accused rioters themselves, including those charged with conspiring to violently attack and others of conspiring to orchestrate the riots. In recent court filings, the committee has shown some of its cards, stating it has enough evidence to believe that Trump conspired to defraud the U.S. Congresswoman Liz Cheney, vice chair of the committee, spoke to it on CBS Sunday Morning.
Was it a conspiracy?
I think certainly, I mean, look, if you look at the court filings,
do you believe it was a conspiracy?
I do.
Republicans have largely boycotted the panel after also blocking plans for an independent commission, including leader Kevin McCarthy, one of 5 House Republicans who also defied committee subpoenas seeking interviews about what Donald Trump knew and when.
So is this really a legitimate committee, or is this a political committee going after their opponents?
But Capitol Police Officer Harry Dunn, who helped defend the Capitol January 6th, says there is more at stake.
I want justice. I want accountability, and I want justice for what me and my coworkers went through.
The big hurdle might be capturing America's attention. Video presentations and live witness testimony are expected at the hearings, all of which are expected to be completed this month. But one member of the committee tells me the interviewing and investigating will continue even after the hearings begin. Scott McFarland, CBS News, Washington.
And the House Select January 6th Committee has completed more than 1,000 interviews and collected nearly 140,000 documents. Today, people living in Little Rock have another chance to sound off on the future of the city. On August 9th, voters will decide whether to renew a portion of property taxes in a special election. The city is hosting meetings ahead of that to explain the 6 questions that'll be on the ballot. The improvement bonds include more than $80 million to street and drainage improvements. It would also buy new fire trucks, improve city parks and the zoo, build a new district courts facility, and expand the port. Tonight's meeting is at 6 o'clock at the Southwest Community Center on Baseline. Another meeting Wednesday night at 6 at the Northwest Police Station, and then Thursday, the Pankey Community Center on Cantrell.
After a wet start to our new work week, I'm finding some sunshine in places like Russellville and Dardanelle. Don't pack away that rain gear just yet. I'll let you know why coming up.
And coming up after the break, we're going to talk to the pantry that benefits from this cereal. All of the cereal that you see here will be put into a van by these 3 young men bet you see right here. That's all coming up after the break. Stay tuned. You didn't know that, did you? Now you do.